Welcome back to JB Reviews. Today we're going to do a quick review on a 2016 GMC 2500. It has the Duramax diesel. This thing has 200,000 miles on it, and I can't believe that. I almost feel like they didn't drive this truck on the road. It's like they drove it on a conveyor belt or something. But it's really clean on the inside. The truck is available at Criswell here in Thurmont. So be sure to check out their inventory. They have a great selection of trucks. They have a new Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealer and a Chevy store across the street. So be sure to give them a shout out and let them know that you saw this video. Now, as you guys know, we are going to be hooking up my trailer so you guys can see the squat, you guys can see acceleration, all that good stuff. And this truck does not have the same Duramax as the 2021s have. So this is good for 397 horsepower, I believe. 765 pound-feet of torque. This thing has like the lane keep, I guess. It makes sure your seat vibrate if you hit the line. It's pretty cool. You probably can hear it. But guys, like, this truck has really good acceleration. I mean, the engine is warm now, but I am very impressed by how well this truck held up. Like, very impressed. All right, guys, so we're gonna do a quick acceleration test, and I'm gonna switch cameras. All right, here we go. Really good acceleration. This truck feels like a brand new truck, guys. If you couldn't see the miles, you would have thought this had 20,000 miles on it. This is made into a 6-speed transmission, and overall I feel like power delivery is really good. Now, this does have a trailer brake listed on the side here. You have your tow haul mode on your shifter, and you also have an exhaust brake down below. So I'm gonna show you guys the backup camera here in a second, but just wanted to just kind of get the engine warmed up. It's 28 degrees outside. I wanted to make sure these engines are nice and warm before I do these tests, so we're good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and set everything up, and we'll go ahead and get back to the trailer. All right, here is the backup camera from 2016 to 2020. There has been a major improvement in terms of backup camera. There's not even a guidance line for your hitch, but they do give you the parking lines. But let's go ahead and take a look at the hardware. Let's get the hitch installed. After that, I'll show you guys the door stickers to show you what the numbers are. All right, guys, so this does have a class 5 receiving hitch. So this is going to be a 2.5-inch opening, and this is going to be an Anderson hitch. And here's some of the specifications for this. It has a 12,000 pound towing capacity, and I think I used to say that this had like a 15,000 pounds, so I was lying to you guys. I apologize. And just below here, you can kind of get a better look at that hitch. I don't see that they have any numbers on it. Normally they put some towing capacity numbers for the tongue, but I don't see them on here. But I'm pretty sure this is good for at least 13,000 pounds, and I'll put it in a description for you, okay? Now, this truck does have the Rancho shocks, and if you do get a 3/4 ton GMC, they do give you these standard leaf packs here. If you get a 3500 or 1 ton, it's going to give you the overload leaf springs. And out back, this truck does use a 373 rear axle, which is the only axle available for the Duramax. I'm so used to the newer GMC trucks. They have all the towing numbers. However, this just has the basic numbers that every truck has. So gross vehicle weight rating is going to be 10,000 pounds. Your front gross axle weight rating is 5,200 pounds. The rear is at 6,200. And all in, you have a total payload of 2,187 pounds. If you are in the market for a truck, I would strongly recommend calling Criswell, guys. This truck was taken care of. I think they drove this truck inside of a building all of its life. Like, there's not a lot of scratches on it. I mean, it held up pretty nicely. I mean, even the frame of it's pretty brand new. Love the style wheel too. These are gonna be a 20-inch wheel. wrapped in a 265/60. And here are your weight capacities. You're gonna have 3,195 pounds for a single, and then 2,910. I would probably want a little bit more capacity than this, but this is good for, say, a trailer like this. And because this is a 3/4 ton, you can't really tow a fifth wheel with this because you don't have enough payload capacity. Here's a view of the driver's seat and steering wheel. Not a lot of wear. Either the person who owned this truck took really good care of it, or maybe GM makes a really good leather seat. Like, there's not a lot of blemishes on this. I mean, it weared really, really nice, and it's still really soft too. And this being a Denali, has heated and cooled seats, has the upscale leather treatment. I mean, really, really attractive. Out back, same story. Really clean interior. And here's your 6.6 liter Duramax. This is going to be good for 397 horsepower, 765 pound-feet of torque. Alright guys, so in the next video you'll see, which will be on March 13th, which is a Sunday, I'm going to do the towing video for this truck. Now, it has 200,000 miles. I cannot wait to see how well it's going to do. But before we end the video, I want to go over some maintenance items and some issues that you probably would find common in the LML that I just showed you. But before I do that, I want to go over the most reliable Duramax you could buy, which was the LBZ. LBZ is considered the most reliable because it was really the first year of the Allison, so it received the 6-speed, and a lot of kinks were fixed for that model year too. It was 06 and 07. And so fuel economy was good. It was pre-DEF, DPF, all that stuff too. And so I would say personally, if you're in the market for a reliable diesel engine, that's the one I would go for if you are looking for a GM. Now, the only issue that the LBZ is known for is that GM just forgot to add a lift pump to the fuel system. And other than that, I mean, the truck is pretty reliable. So if you're in the market, that would be the best way to go if you're looking for a Duramax. All right, guys, so now we got to talk about this LML. So the truck we just looked at, they did redesign the Duramax in 2011 up until I believe it's 2016. So this truck that you just saw was a 2016. This was the year of the CP4. A lot of the Ram guys are starting to experience these issues with the CP4. Ram actually went from 2019 having the CP4 to getting a CP4.2 in 2020, and now they finally switched back to the CP3. Now, I say all that to say this: if you are looking for a truck like this, there are some issues you're gonna probably have with this truck, so you should probably consider putting a rainy day fund together, because I did not check to see if this truck had the CP4 in it. I forgot to look. I'm sure it did. So the issue that you're gonna have with these CP4s is lubrication. European standards are different from American standards. We have a lower quality diesel here in America, and that CP4, if you don't know, Bosch is a European company, and that's really what happens is that pump, it's not getting the lubrication that it needs to run well, and so it starts having failures. Now, obviously, if the pump goes out, it takes out the entire fuel system. It has metal savings that go throughout the fuel system, so there's a lot of maintenance that has to be done if you do have a failure. So a lot of guys just up and just change it out. Here's what I'll tell you: if you are nervous about it, go ahead and change it out. But if you have faith like I do in it, just make sure you keep it lubricated. Make sure you get diesel from a high quality place. Like, I'm lucky and fortunate enough to have a Southern States next to me. They have a 50 cetane diesel. I also run diesel cleaner, any kind of lubricator, Lucas, anything that is known for lubricating the fuel system. Just do that and you shouldn't have any issues. Now, the last known issue that I saw online with the LMLs was sometimes the injector wire harness would start chafing, and so you'd have exposed wires, so then sometimes the truck wouldn't start. So just be sure to go and check those wires, make sure they're nice and protected, and you should be good. Now, I did write down a few things that I would consider doing with this truck if I were buying it. Number one, obviously, I would probably maybe switch out to CP4. 200,000 miles, truck obviously did well. I mean, if it was me buying it, I mean, that truck brand new was like in the 60s, so it wouldn't be nothing just to spend maybe $1,200 to get that pump taken out. Next thing is water pump. Water pumps were something that were kind of a issue with the Duramax. So if that truck did have the original water pump, I probably would consider maybe even switching that out. Next thing is obviously turbos. I'd probably put some money away for the turbos. Obviously turbos can run for tons of miles, but you know, in a lot of cases, again, the fuel that we use, lubrication, whatever, all these things do come into play. So I probably would just have a rainy day fund for the turbos. And lastly, the emissions should be good for that truck because the emissions were changed in 2011. So you probably had most of your issues that model year in 2012, but 13 on, they probably fixed a lot of those issues, and you should be good to go on that front. But if you want to delete the truck, hey, the truck has 200,000 miles on it, wouldn't be a bad time to do it. So let's go ahead and take a look at the maintenance, and then I'll effectively end the video. As far as the oil changes go, it doesn't necessarily give you a specific time. It just tells you just to check the oil every 7,500 miles. So I would just go ahead and change it at that point. Replace engine air cleaner filter every 45,000. Now the Allison transmission fluid and filter don't need to be changed until 97,500 miles. Fuel filters for the 8-cylinder every 22,500 miles. So that's pretty good actually in consideration. I think Ram does it every 15K. As far as the severe maintenance goes, you would have to follow this schedule here. As far as your diesel exhaust fluid goes, the tank in this truck is going to be 5.3 gallons, and it's probably the smallest I've seen so far. As far as engine oil goes, you're going to have 10 quarts of oil, and this is going to be the fuel tank capacity for the truck, 36 gallons. But hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys soon.